For me, it's watch out for inconsistencies, and inconsistencies meaning this guy has said, okay, I'm going to call you over the weekend. And then he doesn't call, and then the other weekend doesn't call. Someone only calls you between Monday and Thursday. Friday to Saturday, I'm busy. I'm at work. We've gone to Kitengela with the boys over some business and nyama, and then you're like, kwani me can't come along. Mi pia napenda nyama, kani nyama we can eat mama. Even me can eat, But as in those I think those are the kind of inconsistent red flags. Like, for example, if I'm available or if you are available to me, should that be all the time? Or should that be at specific moments in time? Manake, Nairobi's a jungle. You could be number 5 in the, you're in from Monday to Thursday, and then there's one from Friday to Sunday, and you don't know. So you've told your aunties, your sisters, the way they should prepare, So I think watch out for inconsistencies, and you'll see them. And here's the thing, for ladies, we know. And also not like a red flag. It'll be like, listen to your gut feeling, or listen to, because we know, and then we try and paint this man in good light. Manze, he comes and picks me out. You say all the good things, but then you're not telling him the way, you're not telling your girlfriends the way, by the way, he jamus haraka. The other day he jamus and he almost chapad me. So you don't highlight those, but you highlight all the good stuff. Yeah, so watch out for inconsistencies, and then just listen and be keen to question your gut feeling, because and even like being through the dating process and getting into marriage and even getting out, once you sit down and you evaluate, you're like, I actually saw some red flags. You will know for sure. You're like, no, this is not new. And I knew, but maybe you convince yourself, I can change. You can't change a man. Even a woman, you can't change an adult. So, yeah.
When a man shows you who he is, believe them. It is more of what you do rather than what you say that portrays who you really are. Yeah, like you can say, you know that song of I'll be there, Superman has got nothing on me. Like, mi nitakuja, I'll be there. And then when it comes to where you really need them, they're not there. Then probably give a reason, one reason, another time, another reason. But he may say one thing and then do another thing. So I'll say, when he really shows you who he is, believe them.
Tell him, I'm very uncomfortable with this. Can we please be doing things this way? Okay, fine. He's easily flows with your suggestions. Very few arguments, almost zero. There tends to be things which will blow up at some point X. Yeah. And then agreeing with Nyambura, the gut feeling. That's I think God gave a woman that sixth sense. It's the thing that the Holy Spirit nudges, in us. That one is something that we really need to stop and listen to it very carefully and act on it. But I have to add that, Francis, that it's almost, when I think about it, it's almost like when is this that you'll ever have somebody that you won't have a gut feeling about something about them? Yeah. When I think about that point again, sometimes I ask myself, but wait, who is this that you'll never had a gut feeling about them? And chances are they will have a gut feeling about you, but because probably you are always late for the dates, that they're like, oh my God, this girl, but if we get into marriage, this is how our life is going to be. We'll always be late for events. We'll always be, so sometimes I keep wondering if having a gut feeling is a deal breaker. So you need to decide for yourself, is this something I can live with? Some things you can have a gut feeling, but you can live with them. I think, let me say that will depend on a lot. Sanguines, I don't think we bother about lists. Well, there's some that you at least want a man of faith, and he's cute and he's funny. Like, okay, cool. You move on.
That works.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all I need for then. Yeah, so it tends to go with personalities. There are people who, cholerics and melancholics will probably have a very serious list and things like that. Phlegmatics will probably say, I just don't want somebody who is too confrontational because they fear that, So personality really counts. But then again, lists, and like you have said, some are non-negotiable. That you have 10 of them, but this one which is at the core for you, whether this person has all the other 9, as long as this one, it could be faith, it could be drinking, like he's a really good man, but honestly, I can't stand a man who drinks, because of your background. Maybe you saw your dad and you're like, this is not the kind of home I want, It could be anything. So yeah, out of the list, ask yourself, what are the non-negotiables? Some you can negotiate. If you want a good-looking man who dresses well, those are things we can work on. We'll just change the guy where he buys his shirts. Yeah, we'll just let's buy his shirts from this guy. Those are things which can be worked on. But there are some which go into who you are as a person. What are your values? What do you believe in? Those now are the ones you need to be ready to cut off, because they are surely going to come back to you. Whether you think about them now, act on them right now or not, they will come back.
Lists change. Man, my list when I was 23 is not the same one that I have right now. Now I've added a couple and dropped some. Like I think when I was 23, I was really high up in my head. And I was like, oh, he needs to be God-loving, has a good heart and stuff like that, And now I'm actually concerned, okay, does his look ambatana with his good heart, or is just, and that's just on a lighter note. And now when you're older, you start looking at things like, okay, how does he handle his finances? Okay, can we build together? And how does that look like? How do we run our businesses? Maybe he has his businesses, I have my own businesses. How are we going to merge that? So that when I'm coming with a business idea, can we collaborate? It's those ones for Apana, you are the woman, Kada, So lists change, but I think you need to have core. Those core for, loves God. And then, maybe our friendship is important, or so can we be friends? Or, another important thing is, can we raise a family? So whether he has, right now, lots of people, I think people in their 30s, lots of people are talking about blended families. Maybe this is something that we need to talk about more often, Okay, so now that we are living in an era where we're having more people coming together, who already have kids. So what values do you have, so that as we're getting into raising our kids, how do we want to impact our children? So I think lists change over time. They do. It's not the same things you valued in your 20s are definitely not going to be the same things you value in your 30s, but there are those, as you say, as you call them, non-negotiables. At the end of the day, value God. That's important to me, So if you're like an atheist, atwezi ambatana, because now me, I'll be there quoting the Bible for you, and the Bible says, and you're looking at me wondering what's wrong with this guy. Or I'm there singing worship songs, and you're looking at me like you're such a fanatic. What's wrong with you? So. Yeah.
What is your purpose of dating? Are you dating someone for the fun of, or you're dating someone for marriage? Because marriage is long term, and looks will change, and people will change. I had someone say that if you're doing this life thing right, then you will evolve. And evolving is all about change. So you need to know that these vain things will change. Things like faith, you also have to think about when you're dating someone for marriage. Because what if you marry this guy and he says, after marriage, I have read the Bible and have listened to atheists talk, I no longer believe in God. So what would you do? Would you divorce them? Yet faith was your non-negotiable thing before getting married. And let me say, in my long years of dating and few years of being married, I believe by the time you're saying yes or I do to your spouse, you should be able to love them even if they don't change, or love them if they do. You love them just because. There's something an older couple that I know says, that marriage brings out a lot of selfishness about you. Yeah, so it has to be, if you're dating for marriage, it has to be, am I willing to let go of my selfish list to love this spouse just because? Not because they are nice, not because they are very strong in their faith, but just because they are unconditional love of God. Yeah.
But I can't have just one vain trait. Like, I feel like I should be able to,
Should be allowed.
Yeah,
Yes, you should. You should be allowed, because if you're marrying this person, you have to have sex with them. You have to be attracted to this person to want to have sex with them. Like, for example, I love my husband, but if ever comes to a point in life where he decides, I don't want to work out anymore and I want to have a big belly, I love him. I love him all the same. I wouldn't say I'm divorcing you because you no longer have abs.